うん、行こう。えー
Well, the cheat engine table's not wanting to work. This has been nothing but troubleshooting. I don't know what the heck is wrong with it. Why is the table not working? I've used it before. I guess that's just all the more reason to support the remaster. This emulator likes to tweak out sometimes and just not do anything. Really annoying. I don't know what is up with my cheat engine, but it's refusing to work. The enable box is not working. This sucks, man. Why is it doing this? Can you just work, please? Why do I click on the box and nothing happens? Fuck, man. Come on. Why does it not take the table? Like, what is the problem? No! Just load. Sucks balls. No, just enable. Great, I finally get it working, and then Cheat Engine decides to be a bitch and not work. I legit don't understand what the problem is. Stupid. Well, I don't want to play this without the table. I only wanted to play this with the table and make this damn video, but nothing's wanting to work. First the game wouldn't load, and now Cheat Engine doesn't want to work. This is dumb. Just work. Like every other time I've done this. Just load. I swear, this makes no sense. I don't want to update Cheat Engine. It's a pain in the ass. No, I don't want to update. No, this is broken too. Everything is broken. I need to remaster these games quicker. Hate dealing with the emulator. Now it won't scale. Now that's broken too. Great. Can you work, please? God damn, nothing wants to work. Work. Definitely need that remaster. Just wish it was both games instead of just one. Sucks how it's only one and not both. Should be both. Let's milk the Tales fan base as much as possible. Why is it not both? There's no reason for it to not be both. Make nonsensical business decisions. I have no idea why my Cheat Engine table isn't working. Yeah, this is RPCS3, and it's been a complete nightmare to get this to work. I don't know what it is, but like the game wouldn't even it wouldn't even load. Sweet. The game wouldn't even load. Well, first the the patch file didn't work, and then the game wouldn't load at all. I definitely relate to the Elden Ring community, because for some reason Bandai Namco's logo is like a flashbang. I didn't really relate to it until now, but it kept getting stuck on their flashbang logo that's like super bright. Like it wouldn't get into the game. It got stuck on the flashbang logo. I'm like, man, this thing's gonna kill my eyesight. I really don't know why the cheat engine table is not working. This game is marked as playable, but it has a lot of random issues. I would really like for the I'd really like for the remaster to replace this, because both this and Xillia 2 they're playable, but they have a lot of random issues. And I guess because they're not like popular games, they don't get fixed. I have no idea why my cheat engine table is not working. It just doesn't. Maybe the values changed or something. I don't know. To get to the first boss, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and repurpose this stream, because I really don't want to do the whole grind again. Go back to the Flood Meadows and grind, because I'm gonna be playing this again in like a month. I'm just trying to make a video right now. Trying to make a video about how the game plays without the boss counters, or the bursts, or tech outs, or whatever you want to call them. That's the only reason I'm doing this. But I don't know. Cheat engine is just not wanting to work. I might have to go try another game really quick, see if cheat engine's busted. See if it works. Sweet. Oh, it didn't work. What? She still did the exclamation mark. That means that she teched out. What the heck? Why did it not work? Maybe the whole thing is just messed up, and I need to stop trying to do this. I was getting really pissed off just trying to set this stream up, and then like I get to Agria and the patch is not working. I don't know why. It's getting annoying. I just want her to stand there. It's really hard to test this right now because I have no AC and I have no moves. But she did it once. Let me check really quick. Is the patch even on? Or did it just completely break because of updates? I mean, that's a possibility too. Yeah, it's on right now. It's on. I don't know why she was still able to tech out. That's really weird. She should not be able. There should be no blue exclamation mark at all. It should be disabled. Let's try just doing multiple Majinkens. She doesn't want to cooperate. It's pissing me off. Not staggering. I don't really want to finish this boss fight anyway, because it's the quickest way to test if it's working. The guy hasn't updated this in like 2 years, so maybe it's because I updated the emulator. Which you should like never do on RPCS3, because shit breaks when you do that. Can't tell. Usually it's like 7 to 8 hits is when they tech. I think it's broken. Alright, we're gonna repurpose this stream. I'm gonna go ahead and change the title and just play random stuff. Sorry to anybody who wanted to see that. I don't know. What the hell? I put the patch file in there. I mean, I can show it right now. I could show it. Hold on. I put the patch file in there. I can show my desktop. I put the patch file in there. It's in game patches for X1. But it's just like not working anymore. I don't have the slightest idea why. Also, the cheat engine table is not working. This is the same dump of the game that I used when I made that video a while back. But it's just not wanting to work. I don't really think it's anything else in here. These are all pretty light mods, you know. 60 FPS field. Yeah, it's just like not working. I don't understand. Well, we're just gonna do something else. I'm gonna go ahead and change the title. We'll play something else instead. The cheat engine table is not working, so that makes me care less. We're just gonna play something else instead. Let me repurpose the stream here. Amiibo will probably port it to Amiibo will probably port it to the remaster anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. Am I excited for the remaster? Yes. But there is no reason why it shouldn't be both. It's really stupid how it's not both. The fact that it's not both is really dumb. It's the same engine. It's the exact same engine. The games came out a year apart. Like, there is legit no reason for it to not be both. But they know that Tales fans are desperate, so they're taking full advantage and drip feeding it like, you know, gacha characters. It should be both. I feel $60 for both would be fair. Having it only be one is dumb. Like, how much more work can it possibly take? You know, the translation was done, like, over 10 years ago. Like, you know, gamers like to think that making games and stuff is really easy, and they call developers lazy, you know, that they don't know how to do their jobs, but this is one case where there might be some partial truth to that. But even then, I wouldn't really blame the developers. I think what it is Bamco wants to drag this out as long as possible, and I think the reason for that is because once they're done with the PS3 games, it's going to take, like, way more work to make those remasters. It's going to take a ton of work. They're basically going to have to, I don't know if they're going to do, like, emulation or what, but then also a lot of the games that are left to be remastered are missing translations, so I think that's why it's not both. That is the only reason that I can think of, besides just, you know, wanting to drag it out like a filler arc in an anime, you know. They won't just go fight the guy, you know, they gotta do like 30 episodes of training. I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, I think people greatly underestimate how easy it should be to have it be both. They're the exact same engine. They were released like barely a year apart. The localization was done back in like 2014, like 12 years ago. A while back, like ages ago. Like, what justification is there to not have them be both? Other than trying to milk Tales fans for every cent that they have. It doesn't help that Xillia 1 was a very rushed game. They turned that game out like mega quick. It doesn't really have much endgame content. The boss fights, as I've already mentioned a million times, are not really fun if you try to play it like a traditional Tales game, you know, with like the melee characters. It's also a different team doing the remaster too. Like, this one is not Tosei. It's the people who did Octopath Traveler 0 and the Octopath Traveler mobile game. So they're not complete randos, but it is really weird that Tosei is not doing it, because Graces is also a very divisive game. A lot of the casual fans really like it, but the hardcore fans don't. But that port was really good. It is, like, objectively the best way to play the game, so I hope that they can keep up that quality. If they can keep up that quality, despite it's not the same porting team doing it, I'm relatively okay with them dragging out these remasters as long as they can go, but we'll see. I just don't really want to play the game without the boss counters. With the boss counters, I don't want to play it. The battle system in Xillia 1 is pretty fun until you fight a boss, and then, like, all the combos and stuff you learn just stop working. Kind of, very dry boss fights in that game. Whether you try to play melee or you just break it with spamming magic, it's very uninteresting. So I hope that maybe Meebo will port it over. But yeah, I don't feel like fighting with that anymore tonight. If the cheat engine table's not gonna work, then I'm not gonna play through the game again. I'm not really looking to be frustrated right now. I had a pretty bad relapse in my anxiety lately, so I'm willing to give stuff like that an hour at most, and if it doesn't work, the more healthy thing to do is give up. It's not like there's any urgency in making the video anyway, because if the mod gets ported to the remaster, I could just do it on the remaster. It's like not really going to be this big deal. Yeah, I've been actually really, I've had a pretty bad relapse with my anxiety. Like, my anxiety symptoms have been coming back, so I'm not willing to, mauled on pointless shit like that right now. That video's not gonna make me rich, alright? It'll probably do, like, decently well, but it's not exactly going to make me a millionaire, so it's not worth the stress. It's just, stressing out for nothing. I'll mess around with it a little bit more offline when I'm a little bit more boss. I'm not gonna do it right now. I didn't really want to play the game that far anyway. it's coming out again in like a month. It's really not that far away. It's a month and like 10 days away, so a month, a week, and some change. It's very close. Meebo needs me to buy him the game, I will. I will gladly buy him a copy if he can fix the boss fights. I'll ask around in the community, maybe somebody else can test it. It's possible that the emulator updates broke it somehow. That does happen. It wouldn't surprise me, and that's even more of a pain in the ass to get around because that requires me to go. I could test it on Steam Deck, I guess, but I'm just not sure how much I care. Kind of starting to realize some of the shit I do on this channel is not worth it. It's just not worth it, man. Channel makes peanuts no matter what I do, so the less effort I put in, the better for stuff like that. That's a major hit to my stress levels, and then like doesn't really give me any kind of benefit. I'm not really wanting to do that much right now. That's exactly why the remasters are important. It's a thing that people like to forget when they like to brag that you can play those games for free. I'm like, dude, the average person doesn't want to fight for that shit. They don't. People forget that, man. They want to be able to download the game on their game console or their PC on Steam. They want to click download and play. They do not want to fight with menus and stuff like that. It's so hard for people to understand that. They're like, oh, you can already play the game for free. I'm like, dude, the average person does not want to do that. That's the point of these remasters, especially if they put effort in to actually make it better than, you know, the original. That's the whole purpose. But people get too fixated on you can get it for free. I'm like, dude, I've proven countless times on this channel how much of a nightmare getting that shit to work is. And I'm computer savvy, right? Like, I know how to do mods. I know how to, you know, use cheat engine, change values. I've even made my own cheats before. Like, I'm not a dummy. I'm not the best computer user ever. I can't, like, mod Unreal Engine games and shit, but I know what I'm doing, and if I struggle with it, like, the average person's not gonna want to do that at all. It's always been my biggest pet peeve with the emulation scene. They like to brag so much that they played the game for free. I'm like, dude, it's such a small portion of people that want to actually do that. It's very few people want to do that. They would rather, you know, have the game be available on Steam for an affordable price. So, I'm glad that they're doing the remasters, especially if the quality is going to be anywhere near the Graces one. The Graces one was very good. Graces one was about as high quality as you could ask. So, I hope that they can maintain that quality, but outsourcing it to other people is kind of a bad sign, because we already went through this with the Symphonia remaster. They got their Romanian branch to do it, and bless their hearts, but they were not cut out to do that, like, at all. They were not cut out to do that at all. I don't know why they gave one of their flagship games, it's like timeless, to randos. Hopefully we're gonna get that quality again. Get the quality of the Graces remaster again. Army of Two is a pain to run properly. Yeah, PS3 emulation is really hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I think a lot of the problem with it is mostly the fact that most of the stuff that you would want to play, meaning things that do not have remasters, they either don't work, you have to fight with them, or a patch randomly breaks them. Like, the Xillia games actually run quite a bit worse on RPCS3 now. After the updates they've done, if you have DLC, it loads, like, so slow. It takes forever to get into the game. And I'm like, man, this desperately needs a real remaster. I'm glad we're getting one of them, at least, but can't help but be a little bit disappointed that they, prioritize profit over what they should be doing, which is just doing both. Letting themselves get bodied by Square with their Kingdom Hearts ports being like so good, and like multiple of them in one package for like You know, like 40, 50 bucks. I mean, that's more than fair. For that many games, and like having it be like actually high quality, that's more than fair. I don't think anybody would complain about that, but we'll see. I do think a lot of it, and a lot of people haven't really thought about this, is they want to maintain this illusion that they can churn out the remasters really quick, but they really only have a couple more that they can do. There really aren't that many left that they can do easily. There's very few left. Basically, like, they can do Abyss, they can do Heartsar, Symphonia 2, but I feel like they would have done that already if that was the case. Xillia 2, of course, but given that they're nickel and diming us, I don't think that that will happen either. Those are basically the main ones that they have left that they can do easily. Anything else is going to take extra localization work. So I think that's like the only reason I can think of why 2 is not included. Because they can probably put that out around the summer and then you know, maintain this illusion that they're going to be able to keep up that pace. They can't. They have a good handful of games that they can put out, and then it's going to start taking more and more work. And I have to wonder if they're really looking at sales to see if it's viable to keep doing it. I hope not. Because they already kind of started with the most popular one, which was Graces. That's the most popular one for casuals. People that aren't mega sweaty. They like that game, and they gave them a very good port. That's awesome. We'll see how good the remaster is. It'll definitely be the best version of the game, pretty much by default. I think it would be hard for them to screw it up, but, you know, they screwed up Symphonia, so who knows at this point. I'll have to look back at my old video. Maybe I can fix it later. I just don't feel like fighting with it right now. I don't feel like getting stressed over minor things tonight. He's a collab character. It does not want to give me her weapon. I lost the 80-20 last night. I lost the 80-20, and I don't have any real-life money right now. I can't swipe. I have no swiping powers right now. I mean, how much would I even have to spend? It's basically going to be unplayable without her weapon, because that's pretty much how S ranks work now. Is there even in a good, like, weapon pack in here? Because that's, like, the only thing that I need. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there is a good weapon pack right now. That one's decent, I guess. I don't have any money, so I'm not donating this game right now. That sucks, because they got Dark Warzone right now, but there's, like, no point in doing it if she doesn't have her 6-star. Score is going to be garbage. Alright, well, I guess I'm not playing this tonight either. Yeah, RPCS3 is probably one of the worst emulators right now. Besides N64. N64 emulation is also, like, really bad. And it seems like the preservation community for N64 games, they're pretty much just going for recompilations instead of the emulator. Like, there's Mario 64 got decomped, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Star Fox, Goemon, Perfect Dark did as well. But PS3 emulation is just bad for different reasons. It's mostly just that, like, the game will say playable, but then they do an update to the emulator that breaks it. That's what happened with Xillia 2. Xillia 2, if you had all the DLC installed, you used to be able to get into the game quick, but they did a random update that was unrelated to the game, and it takes a good, like, 2 minutes to get the gameplay. So, heaven forbid if you want to keep, like, replaying the game or restarting the emulator or something, it takes minutes to get back into the game. And then, because people don't report it, it never gets fixed. Or, sometimes the inverse can happen, which is what happened with Basara. Basara was rated as playable, I think, but it had a chance to crash, and that was a really big problem on that game, because when it would crash, it would be right before it saved. So you could be on a level for like 15 minutes, and then the game crashes on the result screen. That's like right before it saves. You push one button and it saves. So it was basically unplayable. I mean, if you had the patience of a saint to sit there and wait for it to maybe not crash, it was playable. But, a normal person, it was unplayable. And then they randomly put out an update that, again, was completely unrelated. It was not an update to fix Basara compatibility or emulation. It was just a random, like, routine nightly update that they did that fixed the game completely. Like, it doesn't crash anymore, or if it does, it's very rare. It's not like every 20 minutes that you play the game. So that's what's wrong with PS3 emulation, is it's very random and volatile. Sometimes it will just decide to break on you for no reason. You update it and the game breaks. And like, Switch emulation in its heyday, back in the Ryu, Jinx, and Yuzu days, that did happen too, but nowhere near as much. It was pretty rare for that to happen, actually. For the most part, emulation compatibility and stuff on Yuzu and Ryu Jinx was pretty normal. It also doesn't help that, like, almost everything that's worth playing on a PS3 emulator already has a PC port. So I don't think that really encourages the developers to fix stuff like that, because the only thing that's worth playing on there is stuff like Basara and the Tales games. A lot of the Japan-only games that are, like, super niche and most people don't even know exists. That's the only reason to use the emulator at this point. The PS4 emulator as well, I mean, like, it's an open secret that, like, the only reason anybody uses that emulator is for Bloodborne. Because the PS4 generation was when, like, pretty much everything got a PC port. The quality of them was, greatly varied. But almost every game that you would want to play, every major game got a port. So, when they started doing the PS4 emulation, the only thing they were focused on was Bloodborne. That's like the only thing. It's like, do you really want to go through the effort of hacking your PS4 and dumping your ROMs and saves when you can just go get you know, most of those games are on PC, and they're relatively old now, so like even a Steam Deck can run them, and you can get them on sale for like 10-20 bucks. Like, no one wants to do that. So the PS3 emulation is worse because there are a significant amount of really good games that never got ports. It's interesting to think about how messed up it is. I can't even think of any other PS4 games that you would want to emulate. I can't even think of any. I'm legit struggling to think of one. Like, what else is there? Bloodborne is like the big one. That's like the big, like, not niche, but like popular game that has no PC port, and anytime that there's some kind of rumor about it getting remastered, it always gets shut down. I know there was one as recently as this week where somebody who had insider info said they're not doing anything with Bloodborne right now. They must really hate money. They must be allergic to money, because the moment that they put out a Bloodborne remaster with like uncapped frame rate, quality of life changes, and then like a really good PC port, like they would make so much money. I really don't know why they don't. Especially because Souls-likes are like mainstream now. I can't even begin to understand why they don't do it. Really weird. Maybe if they have money problems, they'll port Bloodborne. We need a quick cash infusion. Here's your Bloodborne port. Stop asking for it. Does Army of Two not have a PC port? Is that a console exclusive? I thought the Army of Two games did have PC ports. Why would you want to play that on the PS3 emulator? I seem to remember some Army of Two game having a PC port. Or am I mistaken? Those aren't my kind of games, obviously, so I don't know what I'm talking about. There should be an Army of Two PC port. Or is it like only some of them? Started Nightmare Mode. I'm like halfway through hard mode.
細かいことも教えてね。分散次元だよ。
Oops. Really rusty. I want to play PGR right now, but I don't have the 6-star for Bianca, so there's no point in playing it. Every new S rank is basically useless without like SS3 and a pet, and I just don't have any money right now, so I can't spend anything. Got really unlucky. I had enough for a weapon pity, but I lost the 80-20, which I've only lost like twice out of like the whole time I've been playing that game. Pick the worst time to do that. Now a lot of the resources I'm gonna have to put into getting her a weapon. Oh wow, nice job. Just need October to come around already, get some new games to play. Burnt through all the stuff I've got already. Except for this, but this game just kind of sucks for content because all the clickbait drama YouTubers have convinced people this is the worst game ever made, and then they keep patching it and making it better, so it discourages me from playing this. I like this game. It's an awesome game, but it's part of the problem with patch culture and not releasing a game that's good at launch. you keep patching it. It's like, yeah, it's good on paper, but you know the game's only got like 1.5 playthroughs left. I really want to play this now. They're putting out like 2 patches a week, and they keep making it better. I had the same problem with Scarlet Nexus, that game. I really wanted to play that game, but they kept doing patches like every month, adding stuff. And I'm like, when are you going to stop patching it? I think that game was kind of weird because it was... I didn't really like the combat in that game, but it was in a much better state than this was at launch, with like the performance and everything and the polish. But they just kept patching it. And I'm like, when can I play this game? Especially something like that I'm only going to play once. I had that problem with Kazan as well. Kazan was a total patch culture game. I'm gonna keep making this better like every month. Well, I've only got 1 playthrough left. Like, when do I play this? Just keep pushing it farther back in the backlog. Man, I just can't play this today. Can't play anything today. It needed to be October already. I need this month to end, so I have money, and there are good games coming out again, because there's nothing right now. Nothing I haven't already played to death. October is going to be stacked. I can't parry that. There we go. What are you guys excited for next month? Next month for the channel, there's Double Dragon Revive, Absalom, Ninja Gaiden 4, and then the Xillia remaster. There's lots going on next month. I'd like to think most of you guys are probably excited for those games too. I'm Xillia remaster I'm excited for the least. That's because I don't really want to play that game without mods. The other games are all day one, pre-order kind of thing. Hopefully Meebo will fix Xillia 1 so it'll be worth playing. I just can't play this today. Like, what? What's wrong with me today? I just can't play today. I can't play anything today. Maybe I'm too tired. Gameplay today is really bad. Absalom's probably the longest lasting one because it's a roguelike. They haven't shown any good gameplay for Revive yet. Usual marketing where they get people to play that don't know how to play beat-em-ups, like always. I don't know if that game is even going to be any good. I hope it is. Wind's Mate looks pretty cool, but I just get exhausted with open world games. I'm not really interested in playing any service games with an open world because they're just so time consuming. But the monetization is fair in that game. It's only cosmetics. And as far as I know, the cosmetics don't give any kind of gameplay advantage. So, pretty generous in that regard, but I don't know. I tried playing Wuthering Waves, and I just hate open world. I just want something controlled and linear. I don't like going around and looking for trinkets and stuff. I get bored with that. Yeah, I just want to fight, basically. But it doesn't help that Wuthering Waves is so much more predatory than PGR. The 50-50 pity bullshit. I'd be more willing to play it if it didn't have that garbage. It's the worst thing about that game. I hate 50-50 pity. Shit is trash. Especially for somebody who's on a low income like me. Makes the game so much less fun to play. Can't stand it. There's been so many videos about how much better Wuthering Waves is than Genshin, and it's like, it's not like they're wrong, but they also copied the worst thing from that game, which is that 50-50 crap. Give you a shit character instead of the one that you want. And if you don't have money, or you don't want to spend money, you know, you can't get them, or you have to grind for like 30 hours. Hate that shit. I don't know why they had to copy the worst part. It would have been so much better. And so much better if it did not have that. If it was just PGR. Like, low rates, but guaranteed pity, which is pretty much how it works at PGR. PGR rates are pretty bad. You don't really expect to get character early. It happens every now and then, but you can't plan around it happening. I'm fine with that because it's guaranteed. They don't do any 50-50 shit, but Withering having that trash made me, like, not really want to play it. Really hate how popular that is now. The main problem with Withering Waves doing that is that the off-rate characters are garbage. They're, like, terrible. They weren't even any good when the game came out, and they've only gotten worse over time. So, it doesn't even feel like a consolation prize. I feel like that's something that they didn't copy from MiHoYo. You know, that's part of what makes people still play their games despite their shit being even worse. That's like the main reason. The off-rate characters are still, like, more than enough to finish the game. They may not be as fun or as flashy, but you can, like, play through the game with them. But the off-rate characters in Withering are terrible. Lost your job, huh? Yeah. It's hard out there. People won't believe me when I say this channel makes like $80 a month. It is, barely a side hustle at this point. It's only gotten worse. It'll pick up at least a little bit when, you know, the new games come out next month. But yeah, this channel has been making basically nothing. So I totally understand. A lot of people don't understand why people spam those crappy mobile games and stuff on sponsorships. I'm like, there's a reason for it. There's a big reason for it, and that's because ad revenue is not sustainable. If you can get it to be sustainable, you're extremely lucky. But then, even if it's sustainable, it varies drastically depending on the time of the month, or time of the year, and you know, what the advertisers are doing and stuff. So I can't imagine, like, raising a family on ad revenue. You know, I'm single and childless. That's the only reason why I can keep doing this. Also, this is not my primary income. Most of the income I make from this, what little I make from the occasional donations and then the revenue and stuff, and the Patreon, like, almost all of it goes back to the channel. But I live on disability, so that's how I'm able to pay the bills and stuff. This doesn't get anywhere close to doing that. Sometimes somebody will come in and drop a donation, you know, I'm very thankful for that, but it's not what I, you know, it's not what I, like, the main thing that I depend on. But yeah. I also just don't take sponsorships, and that's on me. I just don't want to show random stuff. I don't want, bum-ass mobile games, shitty mobile games, piggybacking off my brand. I don't want them doing that. Because I've worked hard on this for 20 years. I only want to show things I actually want to play. Like if this channel was not partnered, and I was not given any opportunities, I mean, I barely am given any opportunities as it is, but, like, I would still play the game, right? That's the only stuff I want to advertise on here. I don't want to advertise, weight loss pills and Raid Shadow Legends and NordVPN and stuff. And I know how much that shit is a scam if you're a small channel like mine. You take a hit to your dignity and they barely pay you anything. So, yeah, it sucks. I'm very grateful people help every now and then. You know, I get maybe a couple small donations every month, and you know, it helps to pay for the games and stuff. But this is nowhere near sustainable. So I totally relate to what you just shared in here about your life. I relate to it. You're good at something, but it just doesn't pay, and that really sucks. No, most of the sponsorships are scams, basically. They promise you up to a rate, and then they pay you dirt unless you beg people to download the game or whatever. I'm not shilling Raid Shadow Legends for like 20 bucks. They can fuck off. If I have a choice between just asking for a donation and playing some garbage mobile game that I would never want to touch, I would just choose asking for donations at that point. There are a lot of people who feel that way. I watch somebody who gets he gets consistently over 1,000 viewers, regardless of what he's playing, which is very hard to do. Usually if you get any kind of following, at least with video games type stuff, it's very hard to get people to watch more than your main game. Like, they'll watch whatever your main game is. You know, if you're a Borderlands streamer, and you switch to, like, what I'm playing right now, or, like, Silksong or something, they're both very good games, but the audience just won't watch it, because they're there for the main game. He gets 1,000 viewers for, like, everything that he does. It doesn't matter what game it is. He has a very good fandom, you know, fan base, whatever you want to call it. But when he does those sponsorships, like, nobody signs up for it. And people openly say, I do not want to download this shitty game. I want to just give you money. So they just support him. They just donate. I just don't think it's worth the hit I would take.
Xillia からミストセレリ相棒だ。
楓の葉を母さんにも記録しちゃおう。記録完了。
$11K doesn't mean anything. Subscriber counts don't mean anything anymore. They haven't for a long time. Especially for an old account like mine. The subscriber count doesn't mean anything. It's just a number that grows. Think about when you've bought everything in a video game, and the money has no purpose anymore. It's just a number that grows. That's pretty much what subscriber counts on YouTube are these days. It doesn't really mean anything. There's people that have like 1K subscribers that are getting viral videos, but then like nobody subscribes to them. They have that one-hit wonder, and then nothing. And then there's people that have 100K, so like 10 times more than I have, and their viewership is the same as mine. There's no formula to it at all. The number doesn't mean anything. It's nice that there's 11K, but you have to factor in this account is 20 years old, so a lot of those people probably don't log in anymore. They're on another account. They don't use YouTube anymore, or they lost the password. The number doesn't mean anything. The only thing that matters is the views, which is how you can have people that are verified on here, which requires, I think, like 100K subs, and their viewership is like not much better than mine. It doesn't mean anything. It's a pointless number. It's pretty much like when you've been playing like an RPG for a while, and you just have like 9999999 gold. You know, it's just a number that raises. It doesn't really impact anything. there are many channels that have given up completely because they have subscribers, but the site is not showing their content. So they're putting insane amount of work into video essays and stuff that are like meticulously edited and researched and stuff, and then they're getting like 200 views, and that would make anybody quit. That's personally why I don't do that kind of content that often. I do it sometimes, but I know that realistically, the biggest thing it has a chance of doing is making me burn out. Because this site is just so messed up now, and now they're doing the thing where they want you to make AI videos. They want you to make AI videos of like favorite highlights or whatever. And I'm willing to bet that they want to do that because it's going to be the only thing that they're going to push in the algorithm. They won't push like normal videos anymore. There are a lot of misconceptions about YouTube. The subscriber count is mostly irrelevant. It depends on how quickly it's growing. If you can get new people to watch your stuff, that's very good. And if you can get the growth from that, because they're actual new accounts, they're not going to croak anytime soon or get banned or lose their password. That can be valuable, but there are way more people than you think that are like verified on here, which is like very hard to do. It's a lot harder than on Twitch. That their viewership is barely any better than mine. So that's why I don't bother with sponsorships and stuff, because I know that like most people aren't going to watch it, and I don't fault anybody for not wanting to install that shit. Like, I totally get it. I totally get it, 100%. I get it. I'm glad that people support me when they can, but I'm not going to let companies, piggyback off my brand that I've worked harder to build than for as longer than anybody else, pretty much. This channel's been around since the beginning of YouTube. I made it like within a few months of YouTube existing. Like, it is one of the oldest gaming channels on this site that is still active. But it just doesn't mean anything. I'm not making anything. So, it's a hard pill to swallow, but that is totally the reality of it. Is the number doesn't really mean anything. I mean, I follow somebody that's got 1 million subscribers, and they can barely get like 200 viewers in their stream on a good day. Tell me how that makes sense. They have like 1 million subs, and they can only get 200 viewers, and these are people that they stream consistently on a schedule. They're always on around like the morning or afternoon over my time. How can they only pull 200 viewers with 1 million subs? Even when you factor in all the dead accounts, people who got banned, or they lost their password, or whatever, they're just not on the site anymore. How do you only average 200 viewers? That's a problem with the algorithm. It's not a problem with the content that they're making. It's a problem with the algorithm, plain and simple. The algorithm is not even showing people what they're making. That's exactly how that kind of thing happens. Because I would argue if you have 1 million subs and you stream and make content consistently, that you should have way more than 200 viewers on a good day. A lot of times they're under 200. And it's like, the math doesn't work out, right? You think that out of 1 million people that are actively subscribed to you and interact with your content, that there would be more than 200 at any given time that would be able to log on. You think it would be minimum a couple thousand at that point. But even with 1 million, I don't think they're making a living off that stream. I know that they push donations pretty hard, and that probably helps, but it's just messed up, man. The math, like, doesn't make sense. If you gave that to, like, a mathematician, they'd probably be very confused. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make any mathematical sense. I can get, like, 30, 40 viewers on a good day if I'm playing, like, a hot new game, like a new Muso comes out or something. And, like, that's actually what I would expect for having 11k subscribers on here. When you factor in all the dead accounts and stuff, and then, like, the algorithm, like, that's actually a pretty good number. 11,000 on Twitch can take you way farther. You can make a living on Twitch with like 11K. You know, as long as you have like a decent percentage of those people are watching you and subscribing, you could make a living off that. But 11K on here is nothing.
I don't have weapons.
And it's not surefire over there either. You know, like Silk Song is a good example of why streaming a popular hot game doesn't necessarily mean success. I follow another person. He normally averages about 200 viewers, regardless of what he's playing, and he's been doing Silk Song 100%. He hasn't been cracking 100, and there's a reason for that. It's not that people aren't being promoted; they aren't being shown his stream. It's because that game is oversaturated and people don't want to watch it. That's why I often stream in my Discord. I try games like that, and if I like it, I'll stream it on main, but it just doesn't really make sense to always play the popular game, and unfortunately that's one of the things that really helps gaming channels, is always playing the hot new game, but I just don't like most of those games, and I also do not have the income to be buying $80 games like 3 times a month. I'm lucky if I can do one. Next month, I'm dropping like $150 on this channel, and I'm not going to make any of that back, probably until the end of the year. Just going off the consistent income, which is like the $30-40 off the revenue, and then like the $50 off the Patreon, it's going to take me till January to pay that off. But streaming games is kind of difficult. You either like a specialist and you play like one type of game, or you specialize in like a specific series or franchise. But then that can backfire too, because the game can really suck. That happened with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. All the Borderlands streamers were like struggling with that. I think like a lot of them that started with Borderlands 2, they were doing like really well with that, but then like the franchise went on a pretty big decline. They did like the pre-sequel and then 3 and then Wonderlands, and none of those games are as good as 2. But I'm sure some of them probably tried to branch out and it didn't work. And that can really kill a gaming channel. If you tie yourself to one franchise and they put out a series of crap games, like, your channel may not survive. I get constantly recommended this guy that makes Kingdom Hearts content, and people will tell him, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts is kind of dead right now. There's nothing going on. The only thing that was happening was Missing Link, the mobile game, but then that got canned. So there's nothing to talk about outside of mods and stuff. But he basically came out and said that when he tried to branch out from Kingdom Hearts, his viewership plummeted. So he's stuck in a really rough spot, because he's known for one game, but there's nothing going on. He cannot get out of that niche, like, at all. That's why, for me, you know, I play, like, action games and, like, gameplay-focused games, but I never wanted to be tied to one series, because I know how much that can kill a channel. Borderlands 4 right now is actually not that much different. The problem with Borderlands 4, of what I hear, I know everybody's talking about the shit performance. The problem with Borderlands 4 is that it has, like, no endgame. The endgame is farming the same bosses over and over, so that you can kill the boss faster. There's no, like, raid bosses or endgame loot or anything. So they're making, like, build videos and stuff, but, like, people are they're gonna lose interest in that by Halloween. No one's gonna care past that point. But that's, like, the only thing that they can get viewership off of. So they're gonna have to milk it, and I don't fault them for doing that, but it does suck when you're known for only one game and they put out something that's just average at best. And, like, you know that if you go and play, like, those guys boot up this game right now, they're gonna get, like, 2 viewers. You know, even if they're really good at it, even if an FPS streamer is somehow really sweaty at beat-em-ups, like, no one's gonna watch, right? Because they're all first-person shooter fans, and there's probably, like, no crossover. Maybe some, not enough to be full-time sustainable. It's interesting to think about. I enjoy talking about it. I know I complain about my viewership a lot, but I totally understand that it's not my fault. I've seen so many channels with 6 figures of subs, and their revenue can't be much better than mine. It sucks. I think the problem is there's just no competitor, so they like to fuck with the algorithm a lot, and unfortunately that ruins people's livelihoods. It's a blessing in disguise. This channel makes no money because I don't rely on it to survive. It's nice sometimes people drop a big dono or whatever, but it's not the norm. But I can't imagine having a wife and like 3 kids and trying to live off revenue, especially as a gaming channel. Like it's gotta be hard. Anyway, I'm just gonna play this for a little bit and probably go to bed. Yeah, one game streamers is, it's not easy. That's how most speedrun streams are. Speedrunning streamers, they play like one game, and if they ever dare to, change what game they're playing, their viewership plummets. That's exactly why I didn't stream Silk Song. I know that nobody wanted to watch that, and hey, I understand. I didn't play the original. Like, I totally get it. I have no hard feelings towards anybody who would not have watched that, but yeah, I saw what it was doing to people's viewership. I just decided it wasn't worth it. Streaming the hot game of the month is not always what it's cracked up to be. It's really hard to get people who don't make content to understand that, but there is a legit benefit to not streaming those kinds of games. I think that game was probably hell to make content for because nobody got early copies, so... Everybody was on a level playing field, which was nice, but people were probably pulling like long hours to get those videos out. Most likely. Maybe I should just, like, not play games tonight. I'm playing really bad. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I might come back later. The game playing abilities are in the toilet right now. If things go right, there will be a very exciting big announcement tomorrow. But it's going to depend on a number of factors. And if I say any more, I'm going to give it away. There's going to be a very big announcement tomorrow that will, how do I put this? There'll be more interesting stuff to watch, at least in the very near future. We'll put it that way. I don't want to announce it on the channel. I've already announced this in my Discord, but I don't want to announce it on the channel until everything is completely confirmed. But there's going to be a big announcement tomorrow, so you guys can stick around for that. I think I'll actually fight with Xillia one a little bit more off stream, and if I can fix it, I'll come back. Otherwise, I'm probably going to rest because I do have to. I gotta help my neighbor at like 10. She needs help with errands. That's why I didn't stream this morning. Was because I was supposed to be helping her, but we were both tired. I was running on no sleep, and she was really tired. She's been having a lot of medical problems that have really drained her stamina. So we decided to split up a good chunk of it into tomorrow. So after that, I'll hopefully be doing the big announcement, but it's going to depend on a number of factors. Yeah, I just can't play games tonight, man. I don't know what it is. I think I'm gonna take a break, drink a Haterade, grab a snack, take my meds, and see if I feel like doing more. Otherwise, I'll see you guys either before or after I'm done helping my neighbor, but that's going to depend on if the announcement is ready. So stay tuned for tomorrow. If I come back, I'll probably do some more Lost Soul Aside or something. Something chill. I'll see you guys later. Good night.